from all of that.
Are there any plans to bring more
I envy what you
on
have.
one of these trips?
What were you saying, Kyle?
I want to know, like, are there any plans to bring other people with you? You brought that one guy on a trip once, or did you? Did you learn from that, and now it's just the two of you, or less, or do you have more plans to include a third?
I can answer this for him, and I'm going to help him out. Hey,
yes, thank you, Woody.
There's a Patreon level for that. Please tell us more.
Good on you, Woody.
Yeah, so we originally started when we went to the Caribbean. We had a lot of emails of people wanting to charter with us, and we didn't really like the idea of that, like starting a business. We weren't ready for it. So people were saying, start Patreon, and so we did, and people were donating money per video. And then, like, only recently we just thought that we should give back to those patrons who were giving us all this money for the videos. So now we are inviting patrons. Hold on, Riley's just stuck with the audio.
Yeah,
no, it's all good. So now, we're just inviting our patrons on board just as a cheers, guys. So we have had one patron on board so far.
Oh, I can't wait to see how this pans out.
Everyone accused the poor guy of being an axe murderer, but Jeff was a
Patreon slasher.
I have to admit, I'm a little bit scared. It's completely random. What we do is Riley's brother organised it on Microsoft Excel because we cannot use any of that.
A spreadsheet.
All of our patrons.
You hit F9 and it randomly selects someone.
So we really have no idea who we're inviting on the boat, and I've got to call out the name and then
terrifying.
Just pray that.
And then they come on.
How much cash do you? What level is that on? What level Patreon?
Did you guys have different levels?
No.
Yeah, so if someone puts in $1, then they're on the little board once. If someone puts in $50, they're down 50 times. So it's completely percentage-wise, it works out perfectly.
Yeah.
You had it right there, folks. Like I don't know why we didn't lead off with this as the topic. They're raffling off tickets to come on their boat and go on them and go have a good time with them.
If you guys,
you get one chance.
If anyone listening to this wants to see me in a video with my shirt off, be sure to contribute in my name. And we can make this happen.
Aren't you? How long is this trip going to be? Aren't you afraid that you're going to get out there with this guy and like half an hour in, you're just like, oh my god, like we have to be with this guy for fucking 8 more days in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, like, what do they get?
Do you like in the middle of the ocean?
Do you spend a few days with them, or do you just like have a dinner with them? Like what?
Yeah.
Well, to tell you the truth, we've only had one. So I think the idea, we've chatted about this, and the idea is, we'll pick them up from the ferry port or the airport, wherever the hell they're meeting us, and, we'll suss them out and bring them back to the boat, and we've always got a night on land before we go anywhere. So
I like that word.
In a word, we're fucked. If they're if they're an arsehole or, we're in big trouble.
Mm-hmm.
We just hope that
I don't think they are.
This goes back to the weaponry. We need to talk about your armament. You're just now you're inviting internet strangers onto your boat, taking them out into international waters. The implication alone is too much. You've got to arm yourself.
I wouldn't meet a random person off the internet for a half-hour lunch at Red Robin, and you're going to invite them onto your boat and then sail into international water.
I'm coming from a place of a lot of experience with this. The three of us have done these big events, these big YouTuber events, where our viewers come out to a location. We play paintball with them and stuff like that, and we've had hundreds of people show up at them. It's a lot of fun.
10% freaks. People. Back me up, Kyle.
It's about 10. It's about 10% freaks. Okay. Now, out there, if you're listening to this and you're offended by that, you're not a freak. You know it. You're not. Don't be offended by it. But
way to alienate your audience.
And if you have been to one of our events and then you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you're a freak.
Or come to an event.
All right, so let's list the symptoms of these individuals. Okay, first of all, poor personal hygiene. All right, fellas, you don't wash, you don't wear deodorant, you smell dirty. It's a sickly, sweet, dirty smell. It's not just BO, it's filth, and I can smell it from 10 feet away. I'm not Daredevil here. I don't have superhuman sense of smell. You're just acclimated to stench because you stink all the time. So. Always, even if you think in your head for some weird reason, guys out there, that you don't smell, you shower at least once a day, preferably twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. And you got to wear deodorant because 10% of our fans don't. And they're also...
Let me interrupt there. Everybody needs deodorant Listener,
Everybody.
even you. Carry
Yes.
on.
Yeah, there are no people who don't need it. Like none.
Prepubescent people.
I've known some hippie chicks who weren't into. I guess regular deodorant has a couple of ingredients that are carcinogenic or.
I'm one
yeah.
of those hippies. I wear deodorant, but it's natural stuff. It's like a salt
There you
stick.
go.
You wet it. It's weird, but it works, and it's not, you know.
It
doing
works
bad things.
okay.
That's what I was about to say. I'm glad you sat down because I had a very.
They wouldn't
hippie
have made
girlfriend.
the fake stuff if the
Look.
natural stuff worked excellent from the get-go.
Yeah, scientists have been working for 100 years now to keep my underarms not stinky, and they're fantastic at it.
Mine smell like an alpine slope. You can't do that without science.
Mine smell like Cool Breeze, whatever that smells
Part of
like.
the process like that. That organic fancy deodorant just doesn't work all the time. It helps, but it's not 100% safe. No, but our fans. I want to go back to our fans. Some of the.
Oh no!
Look, this isn't me being a dick or like beating up our fan base in any way whatsoever.
Well,
but
Kind of.
come on, point back. They know they're freaks. Most of them do. Half of the freaks know they're freaks. The other half are scary. They could go rogue on us and become a national news story.
We
at
dare
any
them
moment.
to.
But we've got some interesting people who show up to these things, right? Like they have social issues. They have weird boundary issues. They'll kind of stand at the edge and lurk and stare and grin and have these weird looks on their faces. There's some interesting people who
once
show up.
again, this is a very tiny percentage.
Yeah, it's a very tiny percent. Yeah, it's certainly not a common thing, but at least at every event that I've ever done, there's at least one or two.
You know what? There's always one person, and I think this is what you were describing earlier. There's always at least one person who comes off as so iffy, and like if shit went sour with him, he might like come back with a gun and start shooting people up. Where there's someone like that who you like try and get really close to them, so that if they do go on a rampage like that, they remember you, and they're like, all right, he's cool. Over to the next guy.
The very first event I ever did, we did at CPX Sports in Joliet. It was before the one that you and I did, Woody, with all the YouTubers. I did one that was just me, and which was just ridiculous because I'd never worked a crowd before like that anyway. And like 150 kids showed up each day, and I'm like standing on a picnic table coordinating that bullshit. It was a lot of fun, and we played 8 hours of paintball a day for 2 days straight. But this one guy, this one motherfucker, and I mean, he was a super fan. There's no other way to put it, but he was just a little off. He was a little weird. He drove from Texas to Joliet, Illinois, and that is like, I should
11 hours,
like
maybe.
12 hours.
Yeah.
It's about that's what I had in my head. I think it's about a 12, 14-hour drive. He drove that far to play
And the
paintball.
dude knows exactly who it is now.
Yeah, I made it. Oh, probably because on day one, like he says this, and my manager Kitty's talking to him. She's like,
Oh, he drove 12 hours. It's fantastic. We should take him out to dinner. He should go have dinner with all of us.
and I'm like, yeah, sure. Although we've only known him for like 30 seconds, Kitty.
Oh, it's wonderful, wonderful.
So I get to know this guy over the course of the day, and it's like, this ain't gonna work because the first thing he does is go, hey man. No, it's not exactly legal up here, but I brought a little firepower I wanted to show off to you. Got it in my truck out in the parking lot. Want to come see? And I'm like, nah. This is one of those deals where you walk out of the parking lot, he could be pummeling me with a tire iron for a good 30 seconds before a sprinting friend could get to me. And I don't have any sprinting friends with me on this day. So I'm not going with him into the parking lot. But I mentioned it to Kitty. And without my knowledge, she mentions it to the sheriff deputy that's there, and so they end up out there looking at this guy's truck, and sure enough, he's brought his fucking arsenal. He's got a big 44 Magnum, dirty, hairy handgun thing. He's got his shotgun. He's got his 30-06 deer rifle. He's brought all of his firepower from Texas up to this very not gun-friendly area of just south of Chicago, Illinois, And so we had to figure out how to get out of dinner with this guy because Kitty's narked on him for bringing fucking guns to our paintball event, which was a little unsettling. And he was just very odd. I should mention that as well. He was he kept vlogging, and he wants you to be in the vlog, and it's just really uncomfortable. And he doesn't understand like social boundaries where you're just kind of standing around shooting the shit, and he's just like, boom, and we're vlogging here with FPS Russia again. It was just real annoying. And so I remember it was time to give him directions for dinner. And Kitty told the ref to give him bad directions, and she put him apparently out there. There's a
What a
loop.
passive-aggressive, shitty way to say I don't want to eat dinner with you.
Yeah.
Instead of me being, up front, I'm gonna let you drive around for 40 minutes. Get out of here.
Safety first.
Yeah, he's got the weapon.
So they put him on this loop road. Let's just call it Road 2. But Road 2 just goes in a circle forever, and it's just got many exits, many spurs that come off of it. They put him on that and gave him a non-existent exit number. He told us he drove for 3 fucking hours the next day in a circle before he realized what was going on.
Oh, he figured out that you intentionally gave him bad directions?
He's like, never made it. He's like, I drove for hours looking for that exit, never found it. Had to go back to the hotel.
Oh.
Yeah.
But did he realize what had happened? Like,
Oh no,
did he think it was an honest mistake?
No, he was far too insane to realize what had happened.
Yeah.
I had that guy that wanted to wrestle me. He turned out to be actually pretty cool, but he reaches out to me on Twitter and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to be at the paintball event. We should wrestle." And I don't reply because I've done some grappling and such, and I don't know who this guy is though. I don't know how big he is or what the scoop is.
You might have heard him, Woody.
Well, then he comes back. He's like, "Hey, I'm on the varsity. My team was ranked like 6th or 5th or whatever in the state, and I want to wrestle with you, Woody." And I'm like, I don't reply. And he sent me at least 3 tweets, about his wrestling qualifications and how he wanted to roll with me. And but I'm somewhat qualified too. I don't look it, but I'm whatever. And I just don't reply because I'm afraid the guy's gigantic and that he's just going to break me or something. Anyway, he finds me. We're out there. There's 1,500 people playing paintball. He locates me and says, "Hey, I'm the guy that's been tweeting you." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck."
Throw down, bro.
Yeah. So, and then I gave him my line. I'm like, "I'll tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. Let's go." And I wrestled with him, and we filmed it, and we put it on YouTube.
How old was he?
17,
11, right?
18, something like that. No, I think he had finished high school or he was going to be a senior. But he was a lot smaller than me. I think I must have had 30 pounds on him.
Yeah, 30 years on him, too.
Yeah, you really whipped that child. It was good to watch.
He was 18. He wasn't a child.
Yeah. I mean, he was legal, but
Do you want to see the video? We've got the
I've
video.
seen it. Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Why not? I mean, let's make
Yeah,
sure.
I'll watch
I
it.
do.
Yeah, for sure.
You can see the back of my head in the video anyway. I really enjoyed that.
I
Let
don't
me
even
see.
know if that was the trip that I was there for.
You were not there. That was the trip when I drove from Georgia to Chicago hauling that fucking golf cart for Kitty. And that was a nightmare drive Jeremy and I made. I don't know. I made so many of those stupid fucking drives. But
How long is the drive from where you are to Joliet?
12 to 17 hours, something like that. I don't remember which. It's at some point in between. You really don't care anymore.
Do you guys want to see this?
Yeah.
So I linked it. I'm
sure.
queued up at 0.
So I'm going to queue it up.
So what we do on this is we load it up. You get past any ad if you have one, and then you pause it at 0 seconds. I'll say ready, set, play, and we'll all watch it together.
All right.
It might be nice. Let's skip ahead to 1 minute. I should have linked it there. But I feel like the first minute is me talking, preparing for it. So let's get to 1 minute exactly, if you can slide it forward.
I'm at 1 minute.
All right.
I'm at
All right.
1 minute exactly.
Nicely done, guys. All right. Ready, set, play. No filming, because I
wait,
wasn't
wait.
sure I'd win. Oh, did you not follow instructions? You limey bastards. You
Wait,
lie me because you're
guys.
sailors. All right, let's go back to a minute. We can do it.
No, I'm not letting their mistake ruin my viewing experience.
I paused it. I back to 1.
Tell me when you're ready. We'll go back to a minute.
All right, we're in minute 13. Get back.
Hang on, are you talking to us?
No,
Wait,
no,
I'm
you're
very
hearing me on the
confused.
video,
All
I
right,
think.
we're at a minute. All right. We've
All
got
right.
a finger on the play button. You let us know when to when to click play.
On play. Ready, set, play. I said no filming because I wasn't sure I'd win. But it turns out somebody was filming when I wasn't looking. And I got the footage, and here it is. I'm in the pants.
He's the middle-aged man.
In case you can't tell.
Oh, that's my head.
Because I can.
Was that during a bad haircut phase, Kyle?
No,
I don't
it looks
remember this
good
time.
today. Yeah, no, that's a good haircut right there. I can tell.
He's a wrestler, but he doesn't really know chokes, which is what we were doing. So I get him in a guillotine not too long in.
This is
The
so
fact
weird.
that
I've
you
never
even
even
know
watched
the
this
word
sort of
guillotine.
stuff.
He lifts the child off the ground.
Yeah, I lift him off the ground, and then I pull him into my guard, but I've still got his neck, so now I'm jerking up, and he taps out.
Yeah.
So
He never
you can't
walked
tell
again.
that's a choke on his neck I've got going on
No,
there, and that's
never
him
play
tapping.
paintball.
Leave him
Fully,
alone.
you can pause it there. Yeah, that's
he
it.
asked for it, right? Like, he asked for it well and good.
Yeah, no, he asked. He yelled several times on Twitter. He he sought me out at the event, but he was actually a pretty nice guy. I didn't mean to lump him in with our weirdo fans, but I've been challenged to wrestle by a bunch of fans actually.
Sometimes the weirdo fans
you
are the
just-
best fans. What was the name of that guy? That little kid who was playing as a medic that one year, and all he did
He
was
was
run around and heal
Pillsbury
you.
Doughboy. Yeah, Doughboy. That guy was great. Yeah.
He was great, and he was only like 9 years old.
Yeah, he was older. He might have been 12. But yeah, he was a medic. We were playing paintball, and in paintball, this is concept of a medic. They're not well armed, but they can heal you rather than you like walking back half a mile and respawning. And he was my favorite kind of medic, one with loose morals. So he would just you're like, you're fine. Go ahead, keep playing. You know, the medic is supposed to be able to like get to you, and not get shot. And oftentimes when you're shot, you're in a dangerous spot. So it's not easy for a medic to heal you. But he was so effective. He'd do it from a distance. You're good. And then you just keep playing. So he was a great.
Well, it was cheating, but it was fun.
But yeah, it was cheating.